We're going to learn Parshas Terumah with Tzadok on the Parsha. Tzadok brings a question that the Ibn Ezra asks. It's also brought by the Mizrahi on Rashi. Rashi brings it with three aronos. Right? The aron consists of three different things. Right? You have inner gold, middle wood, outer gold. Right? That was the aron.
What?
So Ibn Ezra's like, wait a minute. If you have something that's made of wood, that's got gold in it, which, that was a lot of different kalim, whatever it was, so then I understand why you have wood. You have wood and then gold on it. But if you have gold inside, gold outside, why do you need the wood? Just make gold. Because it seems a little bit hard to understand. That's his question. Okay? Very simple, very straightforward. Everything else that was wooden in the Mishkan had gold plate. And that was it. No gold inside. Okay, so first of all, the Medrash says, we learn from here, inside you're also supposed to be gold. You have your material self, that's the wood. Outside you're gold, and inside you're also supposed to be gold. That's the Medrash, which is very nice. But some people say that the gold had like a tepa width. He said, you need this like wooden, it's like so much gold. That's a lot of gold. It's tefa, it's a lot. Why do you need that? Who needs the wood in the middle? You have a tefa. It's a tefa. It's a lot. It's a very big amount of gold. What's going on? You don't need any wood. It's fine. It's very, very, very solid, just the way it is. That's what the Ibn Ezra asks. Mizrahi brings. But Tzadok's going to answer the question. He said, you took what's called Atzei Shitim. He said, what's Atzei Shitim? He said, Atzei Shitim represents a person who does shtusim. The Yitzhahara, Taivas. He said, if the Yitzhahara, who does it go after the most? The Yitzhahara goes after the most Talmidei Chachamim. Even more than that, Rabbi Nachman says, and this is something that the Chazon Ish would bring, and the Stat would bring also this idea. It's really from Arizal. And Charlie was very clear. So the higher the neshama, the more the challenges. When a person has challenges, we tend to feel like if I have a challenge, I must be like a loser now, like seconds, thirds, who knows what, I totally reject. It's like, no, it's not true. When you have challenges, you have the higher soul, not the lower soul. You have the higher opportunity to fix, not the lower. So this is Talmidei Chachamim, whoever, if you have this opportunity, that's on the contrary, that is a sign, like the Rebbe was like, why are you discouraged? You have it so hard. It means you have the highest soul, you can fix the biggest fixings, the biggest things, you can make the biggest repairs. You just have to hold on. So he said, that's this aspect of having the wood inside. Now. So Hashem made this Yitzhahara. And the Yitzhahara has to do with chukka, again, ardor, desire. We have a choice to put it into holy things or into nonsense. It's totally our choice. It's totally what we want. He said, eventually what's going to happen is that all the taibas, all these things in the ultimate future will be used for good things. Be used for good things, to desire Torah, to desire Hashem, desire connection. That's what it's going to be used for. The more we use it now, the better off we're going to be. So again, the Tzadok actually brings the Gemara. It's Gemara Yuma actually about Tocha Kabbalah. That's where you have gold inside, gold outside, right? So he brings this in from the Gemara Yuma. He says, when you learn Torah with your whole heart, Tocha Kabbalah means that you want, your desire is to connect, to be what you're externally doing. Now you have this wood in the middle, right? The wood is the material, the Yitzhahara, you have to work very hard, the shtusim, the Atzei Shitim. So he says, so what happens is that a person is able to overcome his Yitzhahara and to bring it into holiness. Okay. That's the first thing to be aware of. The first thing to be aware of is that everything that you do, you're supposed to do whatever you can to be focused on connecting to Hashem. And the Kotzker says that a person has to have, the Gemara says, our sages say that a person has to open up a hole. He has to open up like a little bit, a drop, like a needle, the eye of a needle. And Hashem will make it big, like this vast hall, this gigantic thing. So that's the Kotzker said that means you leave it open. That means you have to work very hard to try and acquire whatever you can in holiness and goodness. To try and acquire it, to try to make it part of who you are. To try to transform yourself through that Torah, to feel all the gold, and not to be involved in a negative way with the problems. You know, a person, we all have our negative self and our challenges, and we have to be able to come to terms with that. We have to bring that, integrate that into the goal. Integrate that into the goal. I have my negative. I want to use it for good. I don't want to use it. I don't want to forget about it. I want to channel it. That's why I have it. Especially a person who's very challenged. When you're very challenged, so that means you have these challenges to push and use for good. I'll give you an example. A person who is very challenged, he just cannot, he feels very small. So you can use that to connect to Hashem. Or you can misuse that. Enough is a very dangerous midah. It says the Remeir was chayish to the miuta. Not mute to the mute. I think the Torah of Munkach, I remember that this is going to come to Daf Yomi, by the way. That anova stam anova is very dangerous. You can misapply anova. You feel very small with anova. You can mess it up. Very easy. So you see, very very deep humility like Moshe Rabbeinu, then it's no problem. But real anova is simcha. Anova is simcha and emunah. That's what anova is. You're connected to Hashem. Yes. That's what enough is. So we need to learn and we need to understand that the challenge, the wood, the part of the Atzei Shitim, the shtusim, all these shtusim, the bilbulim. So a person can use that to overcome the negative and overcome the bad, and like to channel it for good things. To get to a place where he has profound humility. He's just thinking about other people. He's just thinking about trying to help someone. Because Gaiva is very not positive. Hashem just said to fix Gaiva. He's like, oh boy, this is not an easy matter. And we'll talk soon in the Kamarna about what the Mishkan was about. What's going on in the Mishkan? We'll get there in a minute. Like what's happening in the Mishkan? The truth is, the piece had aron and stuff, but I'm not going to go into it. I don't think. So we have to understand that I want to be Tocha Kabara. I really want to be inside like outside. And there are levels and levels. Talmid Chacham today, the Alter Kelm would say, he's like Talmid Chacham of Chazal. He's like, okay, you might know a lot of learning. Yes, you have to know a lot of learning. Do what you can. But I'm not even aiming. It's like so high. It's not even really my goal. I just want to be a good Amarit. Also, something First, no matter whatever he did, he'll do right away tshuva. That's what Talmid Chacham means. You see him do anything, he for sure by the next day he has figured out, isolated what his misbehavior was, and has completely repented and changed himself. Pretty tall order, not bad. I've looked also, he's like, whoa, look at that Gemara. My goodness, that's a pretty hefty thing. So we have to know, we have to understand, I have my Atzei Shitim. I have to integrate it and put it into connecting to Hashem and coming close to Hashem. Every person his own way, every person has his own kohos, and we have to use our kohos to reveal what we can do.
What's an example, sir?
An example, that, like I was saying, is a person who has humility, right? So you have to learn how to have humility in the right way and not misuse it, not what we call another psula. If you tend to have humility, you have to use the humility for good things. To use humility for good things. A person has to use it for positive things, and he has to learn how to integrate that into his life, into who he is. Okay.
Theoretical.
Okay, theoretical. A person who has a deep humility, he can be makabel a lot. So he might not have, his confidence might be a little bit. He's got a hard time with this. He's got a hard time with this. Very nice, but like he has another. So be makabel a lot of Torah. Be makabel. Makabel if you don't have. So you don't have makabel. So use that to makabel as much as you can. That's a little bit shorter to give over. But that's one example. Another example, a person's got a lot of gaiva. Right? He's pushing. So be pushy for Hashem. Push people, get to minyan. Push people. Do tshuva. Connect to Hashem. You can, if you're a networker, you're a pusher. So push for good things. I forgot who it was. One of the Gdolei Yisrael pointed out to two people that had a reaction to the Holocaust. One person built orphanages. Do you know the Parshas of? So one person built orphanages to help the people. They both built orphanages. One person built orphanages to help these girls come back to Torah and get married, build families. Another person built an orphanage to help them assimilate. He felt that was the answer. And I think the Parshas is the one who said, he said, they both work just as hard. And one person has a Gan Eden, it's very hard to meet. And the other guy, never. Everything he's doing is destroying Judaism. Destroying everything. Okay, so he has a certain onus, he went through the Holocaust, we can't judge him, but never. He's not going to be rewarded for blowing that. That's not an overall good thing. His goal is twisted. It's messed up. So you have to use your koach. If you have the ability, your network to do, you have to use your koach to bring Hashem into the world whatever way you can.
What was the bad side to Anara?
Huh?
What was the bad side to Anara?
What do you mean bad what?
The bad attribute of Anara.
The bad attribute of Anava is when a person doesn't have confidence in what they're doing and what they're saying and where they see it. And they're Nikud in the world. It's like, I don't have Nikud, I'm nothing. You're not nothing. And in Breslev they would say, Rabbi Nachman said, nothing you will not be. Nothing you will not. I mean, kids, I'm like kind of skipping a little bit the context, whatever, but like, so that's what the Nachman said, and the Breslev would say, you're not nothing. You're not nothing. Don't feel like you're nothing. You're not nothing. It's not true. It's a lie. You're not supposed to feel nothing. You're something. You're important. You're as important. You have to do what you can. So that's a. If you feel the importance, you're not supposed to like indulge in the gaiva. You're not supposed to burn people up because you like have a lot of koach and a lot of fire. If you feel laid back, don't like do nothing. You got to move. You got to make it happen. But like each person has their challenges. They have to rise to their challenge. Integrate that aspect of you. If you're relaxed, if you're the soul, you're very patient. You work with people in places that need patience. If you're more firebrand, you work and make things happen. Like that's great, but don't integrate it as part of the picture of the aron, which is what we're supposed to be. That's a little bit of Tzadok on the Parshas of Terumah.
Rav Rosenfeld said so. The orphanages. He said something kind of along the same lines with dieting. Said that some people like two people who withhold nice food from themselves and like fasting and like really like suffering from not eating what they want and this and that, and one person's doing it by kedusha to go closer to Hashem, and the other person's suffering just as much, but he's just doing it to like look skinnier and look nicer.
So now I'll tell you two quick stories. Story number one: I was on the way back from I guess my sister's wedding, maybe, or I'm not sure. I think I'm going on a plane for some reason. I don't know, I think I went back early, maybe, could be. And I sat next to this guy who was obviously into Indian stuff. He told me he was in a retreat in some state out there. I don't know exactly. I'm not exactly sure which of these states. We have 52 states in the Union. A lot of different interesting states. I don't remember which. Was it Wyoming, Utah? I don't remember. Some one of these states, like out of the way a little bit. Beautiful state. I'm not saying. And he said he met this guru and he was with him, and this guy fasted an awful lot, tremendous amount. We were talking, so I told him when we were speaking, and I said, if you fasted, probably, not always, but usually, you're going to find a very, very, very big ego. He's like, yeah, I couldn't stand it. I just had it. I was like, that's right, because, that's what happens. Not always. Again, there are exceptions. There are people, not that a rule, but usually that's what it is, because you're full of gaiva. So first of all, a person's going to be fasting, they're just full of gaiva,
See, could that also be regarding a person who, let's say, watches what he eats or something?
You have to be careful what you do and why you do. Here, now I will tell the second story. The base Avram of Slonim brings down that the Baal Shem Tov was told from Shamayim, who's going to be, he asked, who's going to be my shachan in the next world? Who's going to be the person, the neshama he's next to in Gan Eden? He was told so-and-so, the butcher.
But it's a stam guy.
Yeah, it sounded like one. So he went to this place to see this person. So he gets to this place. And he asked, I want to see the butcher, this guy. The guy's like, oh yeah, the butcher. The guy obviously has no big respect for this butcher. So he goes to the butcher and he sees this really huge guy. Big guy. Very big. Very, very, very big. And the Baal Shem Tov was like, this is my shach in the next one. Okay, so he was very, the Baal Shem Tov checked in. He's like, so tell me, so you eat a lot. What are you thinking when you eat? What's your kavanah? He's like, I'll tell you my kavanah. My father was once with a group of people, and they were accosted by non-Jews, and the non-Jews told them, either you convert to our faith or you die. And they also will die. And they killed everyone. He said, my father was skinny. And he was very frail. And he fainted. And they thought they killed him. They left him alone. He woke up and he was the only one who survived. And his whole life he was upset. I had a chance to die because Hashem, and I blew it. I blew it. He said, you have to eat. You eat well because you have to be ready. If a guy comes against, you're ready to, I don't care. I'm going to, and like that was it's like a murder. So it's like, oh, mamish, this is a worthy person. Tzadok's to the next world. It's like you can eat a lot, you can eat a little. Like it depends totally on you. What do you think? Like what's your kavanah? Like what are you doing? And for sure, it's true. You can die. You can this. You can that. Like there's pluses and minuses. Person klipas nogan, whatever. All these different things. There's a whole command, and I think it's even this week about klipas nogan. We're not going to go there to this. That's not today's segment. Other commands, definitely mikdash, but. The bottom line is that you have to be zohar. A person has to be zohar to understand. I have to know that it's not a pashto thing. It's not such a simple thing. Channeling that eitz, that Atzei Shitim, that shtus, that physicality that you're drawn to, channeling it, integrating it into your aron. Hashem shall be zohar to use the right. B'chol levavcha, with sufficient b'chol levavcha, you need to tov, and these are also negative drives. Also that fire, you have to use it, you have to be zochah to use it, channel it to Kedusha.
Amen.